So, hello everyone. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. My name is Olafisoye Ige, and I am so much excited to be here today on another edition of Life Clinic Talk Show. Life Clinic Talk Show, and I am very, very excited, especially about what we are talking about today. And interestingly, I know that a majority of the persons that we attend today's webinar are going to be guys, are going to be men, and it's very important for us to have this conversation. And I have wonderful people already in the studio. They will be sharing from their wealth of experience. They are my friend, and I guess we've been friends for 2014. Oh, interestingly, we have been friends for 10 years now. Can you imagine? 2014, Abby, let me just 2014, 2015, right? And we have built meaningful relationship together. And one thing that is just common in the society today is that men tend to struggle alone. Men tend to face life challenges alone. And I understand that life challenges sometimes have to be faced, you have to deal with it alone. But not all the challenges you have to deal with it alone, right? Some of them you can share your burdens with other people, and especially other guys. And maybe more especially or more essentially, men that have gone ahead of you before. One of the things I have understood or I understand about family life is that the role a man play in the family cannot be overemphasized. Of course, this is not to say that the woman is not playing the role, any role. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Everybody have their individual responsibility, but we want to look at building, cultivating strong bonds with men, cultivating strong bonds with men, how you as a guy can develop strong relationship with other guys. You, even as a lady, all right, can develop strong relationship with your guy, basically understanding how a man think. All right. And without any further ado, I want you to use the comment chat if you're already live with us. I need to first apologize for starting late. We are working out some logistics. But if you're already here, I want you to use the comments box and tell me your name and where you are watching from. Maybe my name is John and I'm watching from Nigeria, Accra, Nigeria. Whether you are Johnson and you are watching from Lagos, Nigeria, or you are Joanna. So everything is still around Johnson. But use the comment box now, whether you are watching on Facebook or on YouTube. Tell me your name and where you are watching us from. I want to appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Briefly, all right. Mr. Shijuade, my Oga Shijuade is here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Shijuade from Accra, Nigeria. So if you are still on this particular call, if you are watching us, I want you to tell me your name and where you are watching us from. All right, I'm going to use about 10 seconds. All right, I need to take that off the screen. So I'm going to use about 10 seconds to take that in, your name and where you are watching us from. All right. So as I expect others, I want you to do something for me. If you're already live, I want you to share this, right? Share this. There's somebody, right? Adebayo Matthew from Ibadan, Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Adebayo Matthew. Thank you so much. Just like I said, I know many people that will be attending this would definitely be men, would definitely be guys. Thank you so much for joining. If you are still here, I want you to share this on your WhatsApp status, share this on Facebook, and let other people in your timeline know that you are watching this particular event. Again, you are on the Life Clinic Talk Show. And today we are looking at brotherhood, cultivating strong bonds with fellow men. All right. Without any further ado, I want to bring in my guests. They are wonderful people. They are people, if you have been following us for some times now, you must have seen these great minds here. All right. So let me add them. All right. Let me change this now. Okay. Thank you so much. Tolase, Pastor Tolase, and Victor, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you very
Can
much.
you
My
hear me?
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, very
Yes, of
well. We
course.
can.
We can hear you. Thank you for
All
hosting
right.
us.
Thank you so much. So my first guest, let me introduce my first guest. My first guest here is Pastor Tolase Afolabi. You know, I remember when we were on campus then, a lot of people say, is it Tolase or Tolase? All right. You know, since when you write down the name, there is no army on top. So is it that Tolase or Tolase, right? So, but Pastor Tolase is the lead pastor of, hello, can you hear me?
Boundless Church Life, right?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So Pastor Tolase is the lead pastor of Light Tribe. But you know, I was talking with him recently, and because Tolase is an innovative. I want to use the word crazy, but so that the members will not come and sue me that you are calling a pastor. But he's a guy that I love so much, especially when I present some ideas to him. In understands how to flesh ideas. Pastor Tolase, thank you so much for joining me again on this show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. My second guest again, my other guest here is my very own good friend. I mean, recently a lot of people have just been shouting, clamoring about the recent talk show we had together when he spoke about money. In fact, by the time you even see him facially, you know that this is money. So it's no other person apart from Idowu Victor. Victor, thank you so much for joining me on today's show.
Really pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. Thanks for the honor, and I'm so privileged to be here today. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Victor. Thank you so much, Tolase. Thank you so much. I'm really, really excited that apart from the private talks we have together, we are also able to bring a conversation here online so that, you know, people, whether young or old, can also learn about manhood, all right, about masculinity, about how to be a good man, all right, about how to build strong bonds, how to build, you know, I was saying it the other time, I don't know, maybe you heard me when I was saying it. I said we've known ourselves I said for about 9, 10 years
Decade.
now. Yeah, right. I mean, it's not beans for you to keep friends or friendship for 10 years. And I really trust God that we will still be friends 20 years, 30 years. And interestingly, I think I'm the only single in this meetup. So maybe by the next time we will just do family get together and meet. I will come up with my damn self. Right. So, but
Yeah,
I mean, that's the essence of this conversation. We will learn from you with the single. We are not in haste. We are not rushing anywhere. But we learn from you guys that you're already married. Right. But I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for staying together. Thank you for being a very good person. Thank you so much. All right. So I want us. Is Victor still here? Victor, can you hear me? All right. So I will go on as I wait along for Victor. Now, Pastor Talasha, we used to play a game on this particular show. We
Okay.
call it Two Truths and a Lie. Two Truths and a Lie. It's a game that people listening to us, they're already expecting it. All right. So you tell us two truths about yourself and a lie. Two truths about yourself and a lie. And same thing, uh, Victor, make sure you change the context of your two truth and a lie, because people from the last place will now be expecting now that we already know it. So, Pastor Tolashe, let me start with you. Two truth
All
about
right.
yourself and a lie.
All right. So I studied urban planning from Futa, and that's the truth. And I
No, you won't tell
um
us which one is the truth.
okay.
So it is
Okay.
the audience that will determine which of the things you said
Which
is the
are the
truth and
truth,
which is the lie.
right? I am married Tofumi Afolabi, and I live in Abuja. That's what I live at the moment.
All right. So use the comment box. If you can hear me loud and clear, use the comment box to tell me which of these three information is the truth and which is the lie. Okay, Victor, over to you, sir.
Okay. I'm currently doing my master's degree. For what? I am married to a wonderful fellow, Olajumoke Obashisi, and I'm a graduate of FUTA.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So if you are still on this particular live, I want you to use the comment box and tell us which of this information is the truth and the lie. All right. So friends, I want us to go to the matter of today. We want to talk about building strong bonds among men. But I want to start with a very simple question. I will definitely ask PT, and I will also ask Victor. I want to hear your opinion because it's something that the society is now going crazy. That someone that is born a guy is now, after some years, is now confused. I was listening to one of PT's messages recently, and he was talking about this matter, right? And is now confused about whether he's no longer a guy again or is now a female or whatever the case might be. So I want to ask a simple question. Actually, when it is asked in the other way, it's always a confusing question, especially when you ask, these people that advocate this mission, they're always confused in answering this particular question. So I want to ask you, Victor, I'm going to start with you. Who is a man? Who is a boy? It's a very simple question. Who is a boy? Who is a man? Let's start from there.
Okay, maybe not to make things complex. Of course, there are two persons or personality or gender that God created when it comes to the issue of man. So one notable thing that differentiates both of them. Second will be personality. But the notable thing that differentiates both of them is the sex organ. And so a male has the male genital organs, and female has the female genital organ. So a boy can best be distinguished by the feature of the sexual organ, and miss other things like personalities, the culture, the mindset, and all of that. So let me stop there.
Thank you very much. Simple and straight to point. Thank you so much. Tolase, let me also have your comments concerning that, sir.
Okay, I feel that it's important that the definition of man is discussed because, as you said, it's quite we live in a quite confusing world that people do not really understand. I mean, they are not relative definitions of things, and philosophically, we are going to see that relativism is something that's I mean, it's natural for men to want to assume things from their perspective, but we know that there are definitive concepts to a particular term. For example, a man, who is a man? A man is a man. Somebody that has a man figure, a man composition, right? Even if you think that your sex orientation is feminine, but you have Ebola, you have what are you talking about? And it's obvious you have to dress, you're a man, right? So it's just foundational that when God created us, He created us. I mean, it's actually gender binarism. There are two genders. You're a female or you are a male, and the composition of those things are things that determine your system. And
Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you so much for that. Tolase, very, straight to point. Thank you so much, Victor, also for that. I mean, you see, I have a series where I spoke about masculinity. I think I talked about it about a year ago, masculinity, understanding the male gender. And because this as much as we are not so much seeing the the effects of this ideology in a part of the world, but it's really happening little by little because I pastor teenagers and I understand based on the films or the video they watch, they tend to start having this orientation that okay, you that you are a guy, you're suddenly discover maybe because of responsibility, and you say you want to act as a female right now. So, but but we want to look at cultivating strong bonds among men. Now, there are so many questions. People that registered for this particular event have some questions that they've already highlighted and they are really ready to listen to your answers to those questions. So, but this way I want to do it, guys. I hope you would definitely permit me. I want to make it very interactive and make it fun, right? So, I have about 35 questions. I know we
Wow.
can't cover all the 35 questions, right? So, I have about 35 questions. I will start from Victor. Just pick any question, any number, then I will display the question, then you give your answer to it. All right, from whatever perspective. I think I should play it like that so that we would have. I don't want us to focus on one single aspect. All right, I don't want us to focus on one single aspect, leaving the other. Right, so I want us to just pick answers from different angles so that people listening right now we have an holistic view of what we are talking here. So Victor, let me start from you. Can you pick maybe this is like who wants to be a millionaire?
Number 12. I hope there's going to be gift at the end of the day, probably like
Uh,
3 billion or 10 billion naira
right,
from.
maybe give away. So you said number 12, right?
Exactly, sir.
All right, so I'm going to display number 12, question number 12 now. And the theme or the category of question number 12 is building strong bonds. And I read the question. It said, how important do you think vulnerability is in establishing deep and meaningful connection with male friends? Do you think we should be vulnerable? Over to you, Victor.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. This aspect in which you mentioned now is a very sensitive topic, and I'll try and make it very simple. Recently, I was watching a little bit of motivational talk that was saying that don't have friends, don't have friends. And the reason why what the guy stated was that okay, it's the people in which you divulge your secrets to that can
Mm,
wound you. So it was discouraging friendship. But in the realistic ground, God created us in a community. And when we begin to go against that sense of community, we begin to lose vibe for the value in which life itself carries. This is what I mean. There are few persons in which they've been trying to build their life, grow independently, and all of that. The journey could be almost sporadic, like be normal no. If you travel alone, you go very far. If you travel with people, you go. I mean, if you travel alone, you go very fast. If you travel with people, you go very far. Now, you can be very, very fast in your journey, but it's not going to be an enjoyable process. So the
mm,
community in which God created us into needs to be sustained, but there's need for wisdom.
mm,
Now, in the concept of vulnerability, for any relationship to be very strong, there needs to be vulnerability. Now, I can remember a scenario when in a meeting, I mean, with some of my brothers in fellowship and all that. And so we're just talking about people in which you're in relationship with. That was the talk of the matter at that particular point in time. So everybody already spoke their mind. They already spoke about their days, spoke about their the people that are coming to the picture, some like their approach and all of that. I mean, just a very jovial ground. So that comes to my turn, which I was like the foremost person in the meeting. So you're asking, okay, Prezi, it's up to you. Tell us. And I was withdrawing back for a particular good reason, which I later on shared with them. But immediately, something was passed across that we have divulged our secrets to you. You are not talking. Why should we trust you that you are not going to divulge all our secrets to the whole house? Are you getting my point?
mm,
Now, what would that
mhm,
do? When there's no vulnerability, there will be lack of trust. because I feel I'm just the only one at stake here. The reason why I can trust you is because I hold your secrets, you hold my secrets, quote and unquote. I'm vulnerable
Yeah.
to you. You know things that are wrong with me, you know things that are not wrong with me. As for Tolashe is, Tolashe can tell you almost 90% of the things about me, 10% or 20% exclusively to my wife. There's really nothing that can be hidden from her except it's only going to be injurious to her. So the only few things I could keep away from, and that's on a marriage ground. Now, what am I saying? Vulnerability helps to bring that level of strong bond that this person's is counting on you for his growth. This person is counting on you for the solution to the problem which is passing. So if you can't be vulnerable to your friend, you can't expect that you guys can be strong enough to build a long-lasting relationship. The reason why all of us are still close together are the private things we know about each other. The reason why we still stay strong is because I know almost your family. I know your family mates. I know your friend. I mean, these are the things that keeps friendship. So when there's no vulnerability, there is no bond in friendship. That's the little I could say because of time. So I won't take too much time. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a little bit explanatory.
Mm. Can I
Thank
say
you
a
so
little?
much for that.
Yeah,
Please go
sure.
ahead,
I believe
Tolashe.
so.
Right. So I feel just like how Pastor Victor said, it's important that we know that being vulnerable is how we can build trust, right? And well, we live in a
Yes.
world where a vulnerable man is seen to be weak.
Mm.
They tell
Mm-hmm.
you that a man do not cry, a man do not show emotion, a man should not um don't let them see who you are, don't let them see that you are sad, don't let them see that you are not happy. And that's the word we live in. And that's the truth because they have they have they feel that masculinity is actually when nobody sees your weakness, when nobody can lay hold on on those weak areas that you have and the things that are not seemingly going well with you. But I feel that it's actually the foundation why men are not mostly vulnerable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Men are not mostly vulnerable, and that's because the way we've been taught. We've been taught that when you are vulnerable, it makes you very weak. But it's quite the opposite, right? It's quite
Exactly.
the opposite. Because if you want to be close to a person, the person has to know you. He has to know the even the weakest part of you. They have to know even those part of you that do not really look very good. Because that's how they can trust you. That's how they can have a sense of commitment, a sense of loyalty to you. Now, imagine Pastor tells me everything about his life, and I do not reciprocate that. I was supposed to be bonds. And this happens in every relationship, and as a man, you need to know when to be vulnerable and when to not be, right? Because you cannot be vulnerable to everybody, you cannot be vulnerable in
Exactly.
every duties,
Not
right? But
everybody.
when you are with people that you want to keep bond, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be able to tell them even the ugly part of you, even those that do not seem good about you. So that they can actually know that, oh, this guy actually trusts me. And when they sense that you trust them, that creates an avenue for connection and bonds beyond, just the surface. Right.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Fantastic. Exactly. So, like, I think you already made a point. One thing is wisdom is very, very essential. That's why, as a person, you need to select who are your friends. Who is
Yeah.
going to be my male friend? I can't make somebody in which is so forward, talks anyhow, my friend, like my
Yeah.
closest friend, that I'll be divulging on my secret because forget it. You might just be joking. It may not even mean so bad. That's honestly the
Mm.
truth. People that the way secrets spreads around is not that the person really meant so bad. Maybe some percent
Mm.
can be from that point of angle, but on the other sense, some can just be so much of a talkative that they just talk, talk, talk. You don't know when they start talking about
And
the secret.
divulge
You know,
everything. Yeah.
bro,
True.
don't say this and that. You
Mm.
understand my point now? For me,
Yeah.
literally, there's something you tell me. Of course, this has to come by practice. There's something you tell me that I will want to talk about. Number one. Number two, I help myself in what sense? If there's going to be talk A, talk B that will lead me to talk C, which is your secret, I will avoid the talk A and talk B. So
Mm.
I'm a kind of thinking person that I know I could almost depict where the trend of discussion could likely lead. So when I know that this can not likely lead to me talking about a secret, I'll not even talk about the whole matter at all. I change the whole topic to something else entirely. So there are a
Mm.
lot of strategies which we could implement in some of these things, but vulnerability is the bedrock of strong relationship. There's no doubt about that, and that comes. I mean, it cuts across even interpersonal relationship with both male and female, down
Yeah.
to marriage and all that. You can't cancel out vulnerability from friendship.
Vulnerability.
It's not going to be possible. There should be times whereby you could feel very down as a man, just like Pastor said, that you don't expect as a man. I tell my wife that she knows me very well, that I'm very, very strong. I could be very, very encouraging. But some things that could really hit me so hard that I'll cry. That's honestly the truth. This man you're seeing, I mean, this year I could almost maybe about 3 times there, about or two. I've cried, literally. And it's not to show that I'm weak. I'm not weak. And in those sense, in those periods, I have to resonate that weakness so that I could be helped emotionally. And I tell you,
Mm.
it's just a matter of time, a matter of hours to a day. I'm back up more stronger. You never believe that this is a guy that was almost feeling down or downcasted a few moments
Mm.
ago. Why? Because that was a period whereby I just had to just lease out the bodies within me
Yeah.
to somebody in which I know it could help. I've talked to Pastor Tolash at the time whereby I just feel so down. I mean, maritally wise now. I have to call Pastor Tolash and say, hey, I think I hit the crossroad at this point. Though. This aspect, I think I was not taught before marriage. I just entered in the whole empty head or empty skull. How do I deal with this? And I tell you, his words
Mm.
at that period was one of the ultimate thing which I really needed. He told me the things I
Mm.
need to do, the things I need to keep up practice with. And I tell you, within the space of about a week, those things were things of the past. But if
Mm.
I had thought of doing it alone, it would take me a longer time. I will still get to that
True.
point, but it can take me
Mm.
months before I can achieve that. I see the value of vulnerability. So it's very needed,
Mm.
very, very important, very, very important.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Vulnerability is very, very key. In fact, especially just like I often say, I pastor young guys, right? And especially the kind of some of them are Igboro kind of people, if you understand what I'm saying. So for
Yeah.
you to be able to reach those people, you have to be vulnerable. You have to come down to their level. You have to share your own personal experience. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for that, Victor. Thank you so much for that, Tolashe. Tolashe, it's time for your question. Choose
Okay.
your question by yourself.
Let me see. Let me see 24. Let me multiply his question by 2.
Okay, 24.
24.
So under 24, we are talking about raising and understanding boys. Question 24 says, how can schools and communities support boys in developing strong friendships and social connections? How can
Oh,
schools
good.
and community support boys in developing strong friendships and social
A social
connections?
connection. I feel that. I feel that for most of us, the friends we have now, we can actually say that they are folks we grow up together, right? I mean, our friends.
Mm.
I said people I talked to that were from primary school. I can remember vividly the things that actually connected us were police and thief. You know,
Uh,
those play
ice and water.
ice and water. What again? Different different games that we play on the
Mm.
playground in school, and these are the things that
Mm.
connected us. And I still have folks that we met in communities, and in my neighborhood growing up, and what united us were football. We had football pitch.
Mm.
We
True.
go play football together. We remove our tools. You know, there's even a time I was angry with a guy and I took cutlass. I was gonna cut him to pieces. And the guy today, and the guy today, the guy today, we are cool, right? In
Yeah.
fact, I saw one of the guys a few days ago. I was at a restaurant and we hugged like so wonderfully. I was like, oh, it's been a while, guy. How do you do? You know, and that's how it works. I feel that growing up, communities in our schools were actually part of folks that help us to build our social intelligence. You
Mm.
know, and now look at it. Now I live in an estate now, right? And I'm certain that my kids would never have to do with playing football in the community. They will never have, they can never do that. It can never happen to them
Mm.
because I live in an estate now, right? I mean, I have nephew that go to school that there are only two in class. One Pakistanis and the person, right? So there's this rapid
Two in a
change
class.
in
Two
that.
in a
No,
class.
no,
Are you
no,
serious?
two in class. I'm telling you, two.
Two in a class. Why?
Yeah, two, two.
That's
In fact,
that's serious.
in fact, I have a nephew that goes to a school that they are they are about six, a British, an American in this Nigeria, a British, an
Mm.
American, himself, and maybe one black, and I mean, just like that. We can see that there's a rapid change in societal structure,
Sure.
and this is why depression is on the high in this generation
Mm.
because
Mm.
people are no more socially intelligent. People don't know
Mm.
how to talk to people, how to connect to people, how to, and it's a lot of fundamental problem. And as a
Yeah.
matter of fact, the presence of social media, the presence of
Mm.
companion that is digital is also another problem. As a matter of fact, wives, there are marriages that are breaking now because of phone now, right? They are
Mm.
now, I mean, my wife had to report me to my pastor. I spend a lot of time on my phone. I didn't realize it until she said it. And she wasn't joking about it. She told me, in fact, today, she sent me a reel that was talking about one of my leadership coach that I listened to. She now sent me the guy's reel. And it was like, this guy is just saying that anytime you're with your wife, don't put your phone in the presence. Just take it, drop it in the room, spend time with your wife alone. She said, like, I told her, this thing is talking about you. And these things are as good as technology is, but they are creating
Mm.
fundamental problem, which if we are not very careful about, we would have folks that lack social intelligence, right?
Mm.
You're going to see a guy 20 years today that do not even know how to start a conversation. And I,
Mm.
I wonder how don't you go to football pitch where you go give
Mm.
yourself, but those experiences have become uncommon, right?
Mm.
Because of the society we live in now. And this is why this question is very fundamental. How that school, communities need to create a system that support connection and social intelligence and strong friendship. And let me just think about one or two things that I think school can do to do that. I think that we cannot say the society should not evolve. It has evolved and it
Sure.
cannot come back. My kids cannot go and play football outside. It's not possible, right? They cannot do police and thief in school. It's not possible. It's not possible. You know, it's not. In fact, if I go to their school and I do police and thief, I will withdraw them from the school because which one is police and thief? So it's just not possible that the world can go back again. But this word, I think we need to begin to do. Number one, we need to begin to teach the importance and
Mm.
how to be socially intelligent. We need to begin to teach them. I had a teaching in church about this particular topic. I called it fits. Understanding social intelligence. How do you fit in communities? How do you fit in society? How do you fit in classes? So I feel that there has to be emphasis on teaching these fundamental things. Emotional intelligence, social intelligence. We need to start teaching our boys. We need to start
Mm.
teaching them how to start conversation. Many of them do not even know to toast. They can't toast a girl. Come on. I mean, that's
But
supposed
then,
to be what
what is
you
what
learn
is a
when
boy
you're
doing with
six.
toast in the first place?
Eh?
What is a boy doing with toast in the first place?
Actually, I mean, they don't know to toast. It's quite, I mean, as a guy now,
Mm.
by six, you're supposed to know to toast now. Even if you're by six,
That is
you know,
corruption.
but what am I saying? I'm saying that we need to start teaching them how to talk. How do you talk?
Confidence.
Yeah, how do you relate with people? How do you start a
Mm.
conversation? Right? So I think this is very
Yeah.
fundamental, and this starts from the home because the
Mm.
family is the smallest unit of a community.
Yes, sir.
Family community is just a collection of family. So family, we need to start teaching our boys how to relate. Then schools, I feel that we need to integrate, and they do it in the United States now. They've started, they've integrated emotional intelligence as courses, as things that kids learn in school. I think our government needs to say the need for it, because if they don't, depression is going to be at the highest level, because people don't know who to talk
mm,
to. They don't have who to talk to. They don't have friends. I talk to Pastor Victor. I collect money from him. I talk to Pastor John. I collect money from him. I collect advices from him, because they are friends that I have. But most of these
mm,
folks, these coming kids, they don't have that. And that's why they are depressed. They are into drugs. They are looking for alternatives for them to just cope. They are looking for coping mechanisms. But these are the things your friends could help you with. These are the things you can
mm,
have a shoulder to cry upon. These are the things you
mm.
can have people can run to. So we need to start teaching our kids the importance of these things. It's important. I want to start creating curriculum in our schools that can actually teach them these things, and also create activities around it. Let's create activities around it. Let's make bonding activities. There are many bonding activities we do, even as a pastor, because as a pastor, you need to foster a community sense in your church, so that your people
Mm,
has to have a communal life. So we have to create social. We have to do suya night. We have to do movie night. We have to do evangelism, street walk. We have to do activities that can create a communal lifestyle. So it's important that we need to resort to that. Right. Let me keep it short like that.
Thank you so much. Victor, do you have anything to add to it?
Yeah,
I go to your question.
I
Okay.
think you already emphasized what I would love to have said is to create activities around it for boys that can't so much have so much fun. Just like he has already said that we should try and inculcate some of these social activities into school curriculum. As a parent, you can create that community. You and your family, do you have timeouts? I mean, I
Mm,
told myself before I entered into marriage that I want to have a home. People just have houses, but they don't have a home. People
mm,
just have shelter, but they don't have a home. I know how, I mean, how I grew up. I mean, the self-esteem, if not for God, could almost be shattered.
mm,
If my dad is coming, it's like lion entering this thing, entering his den. Everybody scatters and realign. CNN straight, Al Jazeera. I mean, you can't afford go and sleep, breathe by force. So those relationship was not well built, and so I had to consciously be developing that attributes in myself right now as a person. I told myself this was a gap that I experienced. I need to fill it up with him first. I mean, consciously, I begin to do things that can bring us together. I go to him, we talk about politics, talk about this, talk about that. Now it could
mm,
almost be on completion. We're talking about asking my family almost at ease. That was not there before.
mm,
It was an intentional effort. So these practices must be from an intentional point of view. As a parent, you need to consciously look at what can I do? Can I really take my children on outing? I told myself, I mean, my wife is already enjoying that as a fellow. I mean, we go out sometimes randomly coming from church, just go out for no reason,
I'm
not
learning.
because of not because
I'm
of
learning.
anything, but because we want to create. Over that time, that's when you were, babe, do you know this thing? Unconsciously, you are
Mm,
exposed to begin to become vulnerable. You understand what I'm trying to say now? But if the atmosphere is
yeah.
just always hot, serious, official, hey, I'm the head of the family. Okay, what do you want to do? You can't see a meaningful relationship or meaningful conversation around those points. So we need to create that to our children, make it open.
Mm,
For me, these are the things I personally want to start learning. Parenting skills. How do you engage your children in communications, meaningful communications? How do you train them? How do you teach them? So those are the things you need to begin to look into so that we can have a more preferential children beyond what the community is currently preaching. Because I tell you,
mm,
we are already entering into a system, like Apostle said, that I mean, Pastor Tolaji said, that if you're not careful, people will be committing suicide as fast as possible. I mean, I've talked to about 3 persons randomly that they told me they thought of suicide. Honestly speaking,
mm,
one at the time, the person is in UK. We had to almost be looking for all ways to get in contact with him because he wrote a letter to his sister that have committed suicide. For what reason? We don't understand. So it is
mm,
becoming a rampant topic right now. And I feel we need to begin to emphasize it and begin to train our children in such forms how to be vulnerable as a man, how to not think that you are almighty, how to not think that you can't be emotional. I mean, we need to fight those thoughts away from them. That as a man, it is normal for you to feel down. It's normal for you to feel weak. It's normal for you to feel restless sometimes. But what is not normal is for you to keep at that particular state or being restless or being weak. So it is normal for you to be at lower states, but it's not going to be normal for you to keep at that state. So you need to preach that to them so that they can begin to have the right perspective towards what they call masculinity as a male child, and not being boxed to a particular sect by the society that, oh, this is how you need to think, this is how you need to behave, and all of that. So I feel this needs to really needs to come into play so that we can have a very sensible conversations amidst our children that are coming up.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really excited about the flow of this conversation and what you guys are really saying, because this, if majority of persons can really hear this, and let me say maybe if majority of guys can really hear this, it will really help out in fostering better relationship in the society. In fact, it will even help us to better understand our makeup, all right, to better
Exactly.
understand our composition. Because, apart from a lady understanding how a guy thinks, it's also important for the guy to understand your thinking process, your thinking pattern,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
thank you so much for that, Victor. So Victor, let me take your question.
Yeah, let me pick number 11. My birthday day.
All right. So number 11, let's go to question 11. All right. Building strong bonds.
Okay.
Okay, question 11 says, what strategies or practices have you found effective in building and maintaining strong friendship with other men?
Okay. There are a lot of means I feel we've mentioned a couple of them. For me, one of the practices that I do literally, I don't know, maybe it was because of my university days that really brought this um, vibe up in me. I do call. Like today now, there's somebody that just came to my mind that I should just reach out to.
Mm,
Not for anything. I'm not trying to collect anything from them, but I just want to, hey, hello, how you doing? Can guys begin to think about that? That I want to talk to
mm,
my fellow guy just to say hello to him.
mm,
Apparently, if a guy just tell you that, hey, I'm just calling to greet you, it looks absurd. I'm serious now. Initially, I've always
mm,
feel that it's absurd for a guy to call a guy that, how are you doing? Of
mm,
course, generally the man's makeup is such that we are not the feminine kind that is only a woman talking to a woman. Hey, you've not called since past 14 years and start giving you issues or giving you attitude. But if you call a guy 20 years after, you guys are still rolling. There are some of my friends that I've
yeah.
not spoken to, graduated. Calling them this year, we are still on the same vibe. I mean, there are some of them that
Mm,
we've not even stayed together before and stay together. I mean, there was one location I had to go for. We had to stay together with a friend that we've seen. Of course, we've seen it quite a while, but not communicated for almost 5 years now. The vibe was just still there. It was still a top notch. So now, looking at this aspect, there needs to be that consciousness that as a male person, you need to also find a way of being there for somebody.
mm,
I'm not always very much bothered if people don't call me, but I make it a practice of myself that sometimes when I just feel like it occurs to me that sometimes the thoughts of the person comes to me, the picture of the person comes to my mind. Sometimes it comes like the real thing that the person is going through, and that's because over time I feel maybe that could be a God gift. I mean that specifically knowing exactly what people are passing through and then calling them to amend such kind of problem. That could be peculiar God's gifts given to me. I don't know, but I believe that this could also be built over time. That's kind of support. There's something called telepathy. Telepathy means that you being able to communicate to somebody that is very dear to you.
mm,
You understand? Without physical word, without physical communication. That's why a person can literally call you at the instant when you are thinking about the other person. Why? Because there's a strong connection between both of you. I mean, I was hearing some kind of things recently about husband and wife that if the husband is sick, the wife can also develop sickness. So you could feel like, is this a demon possession or what? It's not demon possession. It's the strong bond that has been created. So one of the means
mm,
is intentionally trying to reach out, trying to build that thing. Call your friend. Call the person you've not seen for the past 4 years. Tell the person, hey, how you doing? I just feel like calling you. Because one of the things that's wounded people, I mean, into committing suicide is because they felt like they are not worthy. They are not of worth. They don't. Nobody knows them. Nobody likes them. I used to tell people that I've thought. I mean, that have come to me and told me that they feel like committing suicide. I told you that. I told them. I said, you've not just gotten to this point suddenly. First thing that happened to you was the fact that you were isolated. Either you created the isolation by yourself, or the people
Mm,
around you created the isolation for you. You
mm,
understand? So the isolation was the first thing. And by the time you got to that point of isolation, you feel like nobody cares about you. For the past 4 months, nobody has ever called you. For the past 3 months, nobody has ever chatted you. For the past, your family member don't even regard you in their meetings and all that. Why? Because of isolation. So
mm.
this can be cured if we have people who can randomly just say hello, how are you doing? I just feel like talking to you. Sometimes intentionally, I tell my people every time I come into contact with people, especially for a long period of time, I tell them the good thing that I've known about them. I mean, Pastor Tola say, "Oh, you're so wonderful." Every time I talk about PT, I could talk about the fact that PT can anything that he knows that is beneficial, either you like it or not, you will take it. Oh, you will talk about it, part everything. You'll be like, "No, you seem like I'm missing something," and that's a good vibe. You understand? So every time I come in contact with him, I talk to him that guy, this aspect you are wonderful in this. I admire him. I do something consciously right now when I go to a
Mm.
restaurant to eat, to the attendant, to the male attendant specifically, I tell him you're very handsome. Or I mean just a random guy, I tell the person you're very handsome. Why? I tell you, 80% of admiration goes to women. In fact, when a
Sure.
guy tells a guy that you are very handsome, somebody will look at you like, I
Suspicion.
mean, it's an experimental thing that I've done many times. I used to, and so I mean,
Mm,
and on most other cases, there's this kind of welcomeness that comes in, this comeliness that approaches the person. The person feels like, wow, like seriously, like nobody has ever told me this for the past 1 year. I don't know if you understand my point now. Like a guy has
true.
never told me that this, I mean, I'm so handsome. It's just because we
Mm,
feel like guys should just be that kind of bossy, hard person that don't have feelings. No, we have emotions as well. And so we must learn
true.
to reciprocate that. You need to be authentic. That's second thing. Be authentic, be very genuine, be truthful, be straightforward. Your yes is your yes, your no is your no. Know how you can resolve conflicts. Those are the other third thing that I want to emphasize. Apart from being authentic, apart from being genuine, like my friend, I'm being truthful to the person. I'm not casual. I'm not trying to make wrong to become right. I'm not trying to make right to become wrong. The things that has happened, I've just told, see, I'm at fault in this thing, and that's it. I ask for forgiveness and we'll move on. You understand? In conflict resolution as well, I think about okay, what has this person done to me? I make it my own practice that when somebody hurts me, especially to my male friends, I pick it like today now. I have to call somebody. I said, my mind is thinking this aspect too, that you're already avoiding me and that I'm already feeling offensive. And the end to that is the fact that I would just want to withdraw. But before I withdraw, I want to really know that is this intentional or just that it happened and you didn't know. I'm trying to create a space for the person to convince me that that is not true. I'm trying to make a space for the person to ask for forgiveness and then we'll move on from there. I'm trying to create a manner of doubt that probably maybe what I thought was actually wrong, and then I have a right notion. But what if I've kept
Mm,
to myself? Oh, this guy's a bad guy. So you need to understand that we need to come into that sort of conflict resolution in a very welcoming way, making it known that not because I'm better than you, but because I feel we can make things better rather. So those are the three things in which I can really point out so that I won't take too much time. You need to understand conflict resolution. You need to understand that we need to be authentic and be genuine, be truthful, be a person of integrity. That thing really helps. One of the things that's helping with I mean, all of us as on the call, the fact that nobody is having the thought of the fact that Uncle John can lie to me. If I know Uncle John
mm.
to be a liar, I can't be a friend to you. That's the truth of the matter. If
Very
Oti knows that
correct.
I lie sometimes to him, I can't. So authenticity is very, very
Very
essential
key.
in relationship. Very, very essential. And the first thing that I said is that try to reach out as simple as possible. Call, send
Mm,
text. I value you. You are wonderful. You have a good character that I love to be like. You understand? I do that a couple of times, and I feel these are the
mm.
things that we can adopt as male to male that can really, really help us. Really, really help us. So thank you very much. That's a wonderful thing which I want to pass across.
Thank you so much for that. Peter, do you have anything to add to that, or I should go to your question?
I think two things that I would add is number one, see, appreciate, and celebrate others' uniqueness and gifts. It's important,
Mm,
very, very important. You have to see it, You have to appreciate it. You have to celebrate it. Number two, know that others have weaknesses. Therefore, make sure that you have a large heart to forgive.
Mm.
Yeah. Anything, if there's anything that ruins relationship, anything that ruins relationship is that people get offended. Even Jesus said offenses will come. They will
Yeah.
come. It's natural because we are humans. It makes us that people are going to offend you. You're going to offend others. So if you are going to create and build a strong relationship and friendship with people, just have a large heart. Don't have toes. If you have toes, they will step on it. Have none. I mean, it's going to help you.
Mm.
I said something to them in church, and I said that learn how to be quiet about others' errors. You have to learn it. Sometimes you just have
Mm.
to see things and take your eyes.
Mm.
Not because you cannot talk. Because a lot of people feel that is a sign
Sure.
of
You know why
weakness.
people say that I'm Ojukwu?
You just have to see things. And this also happens in relationship and marriage. Any relationship is built on
True.
that. Listen, even these
Yeah.
things we are sharing are applicable in every relationship. Every
Very correct. Mm.
marital, business, and every platform like that. It's applicable. Have a large heart. Learn to forgive quick. Where there's something that came to my mind recently, and I think it's from Domwell's song. I actually misinterpreted the song, but I just said, "I will forgiveness like a clock." Wait, like a clock. Let it be
Mm.
your you know, because people are going to offend you. So I said, number
Mm.
one is that you need to see, appreciate, and
See
celebrate other people's
and
gifts and
celebrate.
yeah. Then
Mm.
you need to have a large heart. Know that others have
Mm.
weaknesses that they're going to offend you. So
Mm. Thank you so much for that addition. Thank you so much. See, appreciate, and celebrate. Right. Thank you so much. And I'm really, really excited about several comments. Thank you so much. They are top notch. All right. Thank you so much for all those comments. And I believe that for those that are live now and for those that will be watching after now, we definitely have something to glean on. All right. We have something to take back and rework their lives. All right. Because these are not just because we want a community, we are trusting God, all right, in individual aspects. We are trusting God to build a better community, all right, to build a better community. There was something somebody was saying. I mean, sometimes we are all in Nigeria, and sometimes when people complain about Nigeria, I was thinking about doing a series recently. I was just thinking about it. I don't know, maybe I'll eventually do it, but just reaching out to Nigerians, and the conversation is: do you think this generation is worse than 1920? All right, let's go back to history. Do you think 1920 is better than this generation? If you look
In
at
Nigerian context,
in every context, you will find out that even by history, by data, you are living in a better world. All right, you are not, because by the time, okay, for example, I was doing a research on this Jew and Nazi. So okay, we are talking about this morning now. We are talking about the recent attack of maybe Gaza to Israel, and we're talking about how prolific and proficient Israelis are, right? And we're just looking at, okay, when Germans were attacking the Jews, all right, you could imagine living in the world at that time. You could imagine living in the world at World War One or living in the world at World War Two. All right, so you are living in a better time, and our individual responsibility is to create a safe community, is to create a sane community, and this is all we are doing in our respective rights. Thank you so much for those questions. All right, so actually, let me go to your question now.
okay, question 6.
All right, question 6. Okay, so challenges and struggles. Question 6, we have challenges and struggles, and it says, what do you think are some common challenges men face in forming and maintaining meaningful friendships? What do you think are some common challenges men face in forming and maintaining meaningful friendships?
I think
Over to you, sir.
if I'm going to classify that, I think the first I will pick is the personal challenge. The
Mm.
personal challenge. Men actually, because the truth is, you're going to attract the kind of person you are, right?
Sure.
Before we start talking about the scarcity of genuine men, because the truth is, there are scarcity of genuine men. There
Mm.
are. You know, I know I was telling people, I said that if listen, the word today project the state of masculinity. Yeah, that's just it. Everything that happens in the world today projects the states of manhood. And so there's scarcity of men. We get that. But I think the first basic problem is that there's a personal issue, personal challenge. And I'm talking in respect to personal growth, individual sense of accomplishment in life. Because the truth is, no, you cannot gravitate towards people that are upward mobile, that are forward thinking if you are backward thinking.
Sure.
You are just going to see amongst you people that have the same kind of value that you bring into the table,
Very
right?
true.
So the personal challenge. So individually, I said that men have to overcome that. You have to grow. You have to be a person of worth yourself. You have to discover your purpose, follow your purpose, be at the center of your purpose, do the things that you have been created to do. Because that is where you can be rightly positioned to have value around you. So that's the first challenge. Then I think the second is the scarcity of men. Because we have scarcity of men. And that was the time I was talking to PJ. I think we even pulled that voice record on TikTok. I was talking about the
TikTok.
scarcity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
the scarcity of men. That's the truth. Do you know that we are few? Let me be frank with you, we are not
Mm.
plenty. It's unfortunate. This is why the conversation about men has to be said over and over again. And I feel that the problem where we have scarcity of men is that we have scarcity of teaching of men. We have scarcity of meeting for men. We have scarcity because you see, I read a friend shared me an information that the man was talking about different personality in men and things like that. And I said, quite all right, there are personality in men, but there is actually an ideal behavioral requirement. There's a certain way a man should be. There's a certain way a man should think. There's a certain way a man should reason. There's a way a man should perceive. There should be. There's an ideal behavioral requirement for a man, right? And it's because there's scarcity of teaching, there's scarcity of training like this, there's scarcity of information like this. Hardly would you see, listen to me, if this is a female conference, you're going to have more viewer than a male conference.
Mm.
Yeah,
Sure.
because the world has been so tilted in that way that men do not want to be trained, they don't want to be taught, they just feel they know
Mm.
everything. They feel they could.
Sure.
I can handle it myself. I don't need to be taught, I don't need
Mm.
to be trained, I don't need to be this thing. And that's because the world has tilted that way. And this is why we have scarcity of genuine men. Because the thing is,
Mm.
genuinity is
Mm.
taught, is trained. Listen to me. We are only products of the things we've learned. Right. So
Yeah.
if we say all these things today, we are sitting on this platform today training people. They are not the things that happen to us naturally. We are not born this way. We learned them at some point in our lives. We have to be open to learning. We have to be open to reasoning. We have to be open to conversation, to discussion that stimulates reasoning. And that's how we are able to teach you today. And that's a problem. So we have scarcity of men too. We can't say there are many men. There are not many men. There are not many men. How many men are doing genuine businesses? How many folks that are riding cars today are doing genuine work? How many folks are doing like that? So it's a problem.
Mm.
So I say number one, the personal, the scarcity. And how do we end the scarcity? We need a lot of men's meeting, a lot of it. A lot of men's meeting. We need a lot of it. We need to create. We need to do social busting. We need to bust our world with content for men, right? And I feel that's what we need. That's not my job. I don't believe I have an assignment in that regard. So if there's somebody on this platform that have an
So,
assignment in
so
that,
somebody will definitely pick that from the audience.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So I feel that we need to do that some more, right?
Mm,
So I feel that
mm,
these are the major things that people have in forming. That is forming and even maintaining. Listen, Pastor Ty, Pastor Victor, Pastor John. Why it's easy for us to maintain friendship is because of the quality that we have.
mm,
Quality. See, Pastor Victor, there are friends
Yes.
that you have formed relationship with many years back that you cannot maintain with them. They might even have the best of the cars. They might be riding the best of the car, but your quality is on this or it's on different level. I have friends
Sure.
today,
sure.
Sure.
they ride cars, best of the cars. They are riding the Benz, Mercedes, and whatever thing they ride. But when they see me, they still bow to me. It's because of quality. And I talk to them, but I can't maintain meaningful with them because there's no quality in them, right? So I feel that, let me stop from there.
And I think just like let me just emphasize one point in which you just made right now, which is very very important. We need to begin to pump knowledge, like you said, to break those walls. Now,
Mm,
there are a lot of people that is built around manhood that if you are not careful, that's why literally a man that is not careful is naturally a proud person, does not want to be controlled. In fact, personally, I had to struggle with it when it comes to issue of marriage at a time because there's this kind of thing you just feel like, why will somebody come and tell me what to do? You understand my point now? But then I
Yeah,
have to start putting myself to a particular state. I ask myself, Victor, do you know everything? Your wife should be able to talk to you. Your
yeah,
neighbor should be able to talk to you. Your parents should be able to talk to you. Because there's this level of I can do all things. I know what to do. I'm a man. I'm a man of there's that wall needs to be broken down. The self-reliance, the independence mentality that you can just be on your own. It is true that as a man you need to be a leader, but leadership is not in its singularity. Leadership is in how best you can also conform to authority.
yeah,
I
mm,
repeat again, leadership is not in a singularity, like you are the only one that could bring the ideas, that can bring the innovation, that can bring the ideologies, that can bring
yeah,
the strategies. No, leadership is how best you can put resources together from the people you are leading and then make a conformable decisions from there. That's leadership. So the fact that I'm a
mm,
man, that I'm a masculine person does not mean that I should be able to do all things by myself. No, I should be able to bring all things to the table. No, it just means that I should have the leadership capacity to be able to acclimatize what each person is bringing to the table, what A is bringing, what B is bringing, what C is bringing, and then be able to make decisions from there. It's very, very, very important. And secondly, like he said as well, it is very important for us to begin to address some of these things. Why? Because it's going to come to a time that men will become uncontrollable and unruly because this generation of Gen Z, quote and unquote, that we're having, they are building much value system around ego and wealth and affluence than the quality of life. And that needs to be readjusted. What makes life is not in the effulgence of the realities of money, of your livelihood, your lifestyle. What makes life is your content. What have you so much built? Like he said, all the things you see me emanate right now are the things in which I have to personally learn. You could tell me how vulnerable I was. I mean, you could almost pick up how vulnerable I am currently. I was telling you that I was seeing a lot of lag in the area of parenting. And I've been telling myself since about January, I said, Victor, you're already married. These aspects of parenting, how much do you know about parenting? Why?
mm,
Now, when somebody begin to see me in 5 years' time, having a good home, I mean, I saw a video today and I was so wild. I was almost in tears. I was seeing a boy of about 6, 7 years old. It was, I mean, his mother was pregnant. I mean, yes, his mother was pregnant. I think there's the age difference between the firstborn and secondborn, just about a year or two, thereabouts. You see the level of leadership that this guy was pushing out. I've forgotten his name. I think Tokumbo. Also, that's the name of the family. This guy was exuding a lot of value. It was the way he's talking. I was so I'm even myself. I was like, wow, what's this knowledge? Where is it coming from? You understand?
mm,
Why? I believe this is everybody in the comment section was saying, no, you guys are worthy of emulation. You guys are so superb. You've trained your children well. I mean, they said one of the parents told the child, yeah, can you pray for the baby that's in the belly? And he was praying. He was saying, Lord, help me to share what I have with my younger sister that is coming. Lord, help us to be in love together. And I was like, wow, like, how
Mm,
can this guy think about this? This did not jump on him.
mm.
He was well
Sure.
taught. People of his
Yeah.
age are thinking of how to buy new toys. People of his
Mm,
age are thinking of how to go to the latest boutique to buy new clothes and flaunt it online. I mean, you could not imagine what young kids are thinking right now. So I was like, I need to really learn some of these things. In fact, if I can get the contact of that person, I don't mind paying for teaching, for course on parenting. Why? I need to
mm,
gather knowledge on it. So that's where you can see me 10 years time raising my kids. I'll be like, oh, fantastic. Why? Because I have to learn that. So every male person needs to understand that nothing jumps on you. You need to learn everything that comes at you. You need to learn every quality you ever desire. I need to think when it comes about marriage, I have to read a lot of books, I have to listen to a lot of messages when it comes about marriage. That's why I could say that honestly, people look at me and tell me that Victor, you are doing really fantastic well in your marriage. Oh, you are an happy man. You're a happy man. Why am I a happy man? I believe one aspect of it is God, of course. The other aspect of it is the fact that I have to invest into knowledge. Wisdom is the
ah,
principal thing. True wisdom is the house
mm.
built, and by understanding it is established. So in every area of your life, you need to understand as a male person that nothing jumps on you. You need to develop yourself, and it is very, very important for you to ensure that you have your beautiful life and beautiful lifestyle you think and you dream about. Yeah, very important.
All right. Wow. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. You see, uh, there is something that is happening now, and I don't know. Maybe I can make that decision alone. I want to. Let me just do it. Right. Let me do it. I would speak with the team later. I would want to again this month because I will first say this statement in Yoruba because it was said in Yoruba. Right. Sorry for the Yoruba people that don't understand what I'm saying. They used to say
Nobody should like you, but
Ayewa. They used to say Ayewa ọ̀rọ̀ òsì. Ìgbà míì ọ̀rọ̀ máa wà. Ayé òsì. I think today there is ọ̀rọ̀. All right, because I personally have always been a benefactor of conversations like this. All right, especially what you have been sharing, it's something that is just an eye opener to me. It's something that I believe, if it's an eye opener to me, based on my level of knowledge, I also believe that for many people that are listening, and I just read through the comments box, and I see some people that are online are already commenting that okay, this is it. All right. So, and I believe for many people that will also be listening after now, we also have the same testimony. So, this is what I want to do. I want to, just like we are like this, I want to bring us back again this month. All right. We are not going to change the topic. We are not going to change, in fact, because I'm just looking at, we have only answered 4 questions. All right. And I said I have 35. All right. And there is no time. so I don't know 4 out of 35. That's not a pass mark, right? You agree with me? That's not a pass mark. So we need to do better. So I'm going to meet up with you, but let me get your answer live so that if you tell me, you won't tell me yes now, tell me no in the secret place. So let me get the response now. Is it still possible for? I know Pastor Talashe has a conference this month. All right. So, but let me pause. I'm going to work on the best Saturday that is free for both of you, right? I'm going to work for the best Saturday that's going to be free for both of you. But let me get a response from you now. Ogami Victor,
Okay, all right.
Alpha.
Of course, there's nothing that you can't ask for me that I can't render, except maybe my wife. I'm
Oh
going
my goodness. All
I'm not
right.
preparing you, but that's just it.
No problem. No worry. PT Alpha now.
It's coming.
Yeah, I think I'm also available. PJ, you know I'm always available. I want to ask a
Yeah.
question. Is my video has been blurry, right?
Yes, but I think it's better now. In fact, I wanted to comment that it seems you just, just like the wine. So when Jesus came in, when they gave it to the chief, he said, why did you keep
Yes,
the
right.
good wine till now? So, but I think we have a better camera now.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Thank you so much for that. I really believe that the audience already are already happy with this approval I'm getting, but I'm still not going to end this particular production until I give room for one more question. And I will also take one question from those that already have questions. I'm going to take the last question is going to be the one I have from the registration points, but I'm still going to give one more room for a question. So I think Victor, this is your question. So can you give me the number of question or question number you want me to ask?
Let me pick 18.
18. So let's go to question 18. All right. So impact of strong male relationship. Thank God we really touched this. He said, can you share a personal experience where a male friend provided invaluable support during a challenging time in your life? Can you share a personal experience where a male friend provided invaluable support during a challenging time in your life? Impact of
Okay.
strong male relationships.
Maybe I'll just do to reverse my words again. I mentioned one major aspect, especially this year, and that's still one of the guests on this major talk. That's a Pastor Tolase. Okay, let me just break the camel's back. Don't please forgive me. It's part of my weakness. I always, as it's a very sensitive matter. Okay, when it comes to the issue of marriage, it was like I've always said about marriage, fantasized about marriage. But the issue of pregnancy is like a sin. Like something that maybe it has never just occurred to me. And so when the reality of it was popping up earlier into this year, it was like a new world entirely that has never realized, that has never known, that never thought about. So you may not be able to presume that, but that was actually what I mean the state was then. And it was giving me some level of bad vibes personally. It was giving me some level of uh, bad thoughts within me. I mean, you can't imagine the number of thoughts of things that went through my mind as a married man, legally married person. You understand? I have to emphasize that because a lot of absurd thoughts came to my mind. I was like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Oh, this planning
Mm,
is really side of me. I have this, I have that. You have a lot of things that we set out. A lot of things were just coming. What did I do? I pick up my phone. He is also married. I told him, Oga, we are in the same shoe. I can't call every other friend. You're the person that can be able to help in this. And at least I know you're a pastor. Sometimes when we come into conversation, there are several reasons. That's why when you are talking to people, you need to understand why is this person talking to me. There's sometimes that the person wants to come and converse and just divulge the matter to you. He doesn't need anything from you. There's some other scenarios that the person have the solution already. They just wanted to just repeat the solution he himself is providing and
mm,
tell the person back to his hearing. And that's just it. I do that some many couple of times. From what they are telling me, I'll just from there be picking out solutions. And the other third case is the fact that they don't know what to do and they're just looking for solution. So you must be able to
mm,
pick which aspect of this discussion is this. For me, I don't know. That was the state, ignorance. And so by the time we started conversing, that became me to understand, let me use the word maybe awareness, not because I don't really know the solutions then or the God's will and several other things, but just coming to me from a deeper light, from the angle of consolation, from the angle of encouragement, from the angle of gifts, from the angle of benefits. You understand my points now? So immediately I jump off the call, I told myself, Victor, you need to start confessing this. He started giving me some tips. Confess. You understand? And that was how I was able to pull myself out of that particular situation. You understand?
mm,
Why? Because that thing I tell you, it is so easy to destroy home. Many homes have been destroyed in such
mm,
phase because you're just shocked. I mean, I've heard some couples in which their wife was pregnant, and then the husband was like, the husband had to call the friend of the wife in the middle of the night. But I don't understand this thing. Oh. Like I'm tired. Like I don't even know what to do. you could imagine that homes, I mean, the husband can just abscond from home because he knows that by the time he comes home, now different bottle of wahala. So it can lead to breaks, it can lead to several things. So if I had not come out to talk, I would have died in silence. Issues will have happened, and then you, yeah, sorry, a year marriage or 3 months marriage is off. Why? Because I could not divulge or be vulnerable to a friend. So can you see the example
mm,
in which I just gave? So in many ways, being vulnerable, being, I mean, having a friend, a male friend you could talk to, will really
mm,
help you, really go a long way. I tell you, the statistics shows that male people, I mean, the aged ones, die very early. Man has almost about 50 to about 60, whereby the women has about 60 to about 80 in terms of average age in which they die. Why?
mm,
Because the male man, after the woman has gone for Omugwo,
mm,
grandma and the Omugwo of the grandchildren, the grandpa is left at home. What will you
mm,
leave the grandpa to do? Will you just be counting the ceiling? He doesn't have some. He doesn't have anybody to talk to. You start thinking about the bad things in which he has done before. You start thinking about how well he has not been so good. That's how depression sets in. That's how attack
mm,
sets in. That's how stroke sets in. So you see that by the time people begin to have good conversational relationship, I can think of how my 80 years will be. I can think of how my 70 years will be. Oh, Tolashe, let's just go. I mean, PJ, let's just travel to what's it called? Not Sambisa. Let's just there's this particular country that is coming to my head. I don't know, but let's see. Let's have Saudi Arabia. Let's just have like 1 month off there. You understand? There are some men right now that are working in this. I mean, about people of about 60, 70. They have some friends that they go out to meet. They go to visit them. They come back home. You understand? They're enjoying their life because I tell you, mouths that don't talk is the mouth that dies in silence. Mouth that
mm,
don't talk is the mouth that dies in silence. So this aspect will help you in building strong health and your longevity is strengthened. Number two, this helps you naturally to just be very much lively, very much sociable. By the time you begin to have friends in which you could talk to, you see that you have much more healthy living. You laugh very well, you talk very well. Like now, I don't have anything that is making me so sad. If there's any moment that is taking me to hello B, hello Baba, how far, waiting the suffer, waiting the you understand? But I already let
mm,
everything has just died off. You see that I'm enjoying my life, I'm enjoying my spirits. Emotional
mm,
support is there. I could easily at the time whereby there's something he and himself was even going through. Not quite long. I had to call him. I was there almost, hey, Baba Alpha. I was almost forced to tell myself if I should even travel to Lagos. Why? Because this is my friend. I mean, I was saying that recently. Let me just give this example and then I'll round up from there. There's one of my friends that was surprised. I was here in Ibadan and his dad died. He's in Akure. I left where I was here in Ibadan. I should not, based on circumstances and situation. But I left here. I traveled all the way down to Akure, stayed from a day to the second day, was there, was going up and down as if he was the one doing the whole activity, as if his marriage and best man relationship. I was doing everything. This man was so happy. Why? I'm trying to pass a message across that you are very valuable to me. You mean a lot
mm,
to me. And I tell you, that kind of person cannot go and die
mm.
in silence. That kind of person cannot
Sure.
think of committing suicide because he feels like, no, I know a guy that knows that he's valuable. In worst case in time, he could always pick his phone and call me. So that's how
Mm,
best you can begin to show ourselves and begin to stand as support emotionally, financially, I mean, spiritually. Currently, we have a group in which we created. We want to start praying together over time. Why? Because there are a lot of things that are even beyond physical that we need to talk to God
mm.
about spiritually.
Sure.
When two persons are praying about it, those things are solved. You understand?
Yeah.
I thought about that.
Mm,
I told them, oh, guys, we need to start praying together. You understand? That's the vibe. Nobody can be sunk into deep oceans when you have a lot of
mm,
people that can pull him out. Is when we have the absence of people who can pull people out of their problems. That's when you have people who are drowning in their problems and they die in that particular ocean. So let's begin to cultivate these attributes and this habit of building male to male relationship that is so strong and that can last longer, years to come. You understand? Very, very, very important. Let's begin to do this. So thank you very much. I think that's just one piece which I resonate.
thank you so much for that response. Thank you so much. All right.
My pleasure.
Um, PT, should I take your question?
Yes, my
Can I take
question.
your
You can give
question?
me
Eh,
question 35.
35. Thank you for going to that category. So
Ah,
it
okay.
says the future outlook and action. In what way can we advocate for social changes that
Why do I
prioritize
always feel
ment
difficult questions?
that prioritize mental health, emotional expression, and healthy relationship
Which
among
one
men?
is this now?
So and let me speak a little bit about this. And I remember when I was talking about masculinity about a year ago, I spoke about men's mental health. All right, because if you call for, Victor was saying it the other time that if you get to, okay, I think it was PT that was saying that programs like this, the majority of persons you see there will be women. All right,
That's true.
and if there is a medical checkup, right, and you say that mm, mental health, right? A guy will say, "Kò sí nǹkan tó ṣe mí now." I mean, ẹ wò mí, ẹ wò mí, ẹ wò mí, and I mean, all right, but it will be a woman that will just be, and the man is battling with issues and issues and issues. So I want you to talk about how can we advocate that, hey, guy, it's okay for you to feel, Victor was saying the other time, it's okay for you to feel the way you are feeling. All right. When Victor was saying it, I said crying is an outlet. It's just like you are pressed, all right, and you are
Yes,
not
sir.
easing out. All right, you are easing out your emotion by because by the time you let it go, then you have fresh ideas to be able to take in something new. So how do we advocate social changes that prioritize mental health, emotional expression, and healthy relationships? Over to you, sir.
No, I feel that the perspective that men are strong, but they have a unique strength. We have to deal with that perspective. Yeah, we have to. Should men? Am I? Some people when they hear me, they're gonna think I'm talking emasculation of men, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to emasculate men. I'm just trying to say that a man, in as much as you are human, there's still a part of you that is weak. You have you have burdens. I mean, there are many guys that they are dying in silence. They have financial burdens, and nobody want to care what burdens they got. Nobody want to care. I mean, nobody want. Even their wives sometimes are not reasonable. They are not right because they
I
feel
tell
that
you,
is a guy. He
man
should
should
find a way.
find, you should find solution
Mm.
to it.
I just heard particular lady that was talking about how that if you're a girl, you should, when a guy asks you out, bill him 500K in the morning, by evening rather, and that cuts him off a few things. He said the least a guy should give to a lady in talking stage is 500,000, and that's crazy. That's stupid. That's a silly thinking. That's a thinking that it's only a chicken brain could process. To be honest, because even our own father can afford it. Our own father can afford it. So that's the truth, and it's a problem because they see that men should be the one to look for the money, which is correct, because we are the foundation of the society. Responsibilities are laid upon us. We have extra strength, physical strength. I mean, that is drawn from a woman. So we have composition of our brain that is thicker than a woman. We have all these biological hypotheses that are true. But I want to say this: it's important that we know that it is not out of place for a man to have challenges, emotional, mental health. It's not out of place. And that's a perspective that needs to be corrected. Do you know that we have a lot of happy women, happy mother, happy international women, happy girl, happy this days in the year?
Almost about 10, 12. I think somebody sent me 12. I don't know. I don't know the numbers actually. But really,
You hear happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Sun,
already half of
happy
the year, I think
Mother's
we
Day,
celebrated it 6 times
happy
now.
Women's Day, happy International Women's Day. Happy International Girls Day. Happy Girls Day. Which one?
One happy Father's Day.
And do you know that sometimes ago, just a couple of weeks, it was Happy Boys Day, Happy International Boys Day. We remember? Remember that was International Boys
I don't know
Boys,
that one even exists.
Day. Yeah, there was.
I
And
I don't know it existed though.
do you know that most of the multinationals that will now put Happy International Women's Day, gift their women gifts, do all those things and come straight to their company, do not even remember that it was Happy International Boys Day. There was no flyer
Hmm.
for it. Most of Nigerian banks did not even remember. It was not in their calendar because they feel that men are okay. They could be by themselves. They don't need celebration. They don't need to be welcome. And do you know that some women actually think and bring that into their marriage as well? It's
Hmm.
unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So they feel that, and that there's this stigma, there's this dogmatic approach that we see men. It has become a social stigma. And everybody just want to go with men are this, men are that. And men are not also helping the case. They also project themselves as El Shaddai. And I tell them, you know that you shall die very soon. You shall die. So we want to protect ourselves as fortified. Oh, I'm a fortitude. I'm a stronghold, which you're supposed to be. But when the time for you to be weak comes, do not refuse weakness. Because weakness is a proof that you are living. Hunger is a proof that you are a human. Being tired is a proof that you are human. Emotional weakness is a proof that your emotion is still in place. When you see a man that doesn't use the toilet, when you see a human being that doesn't use the toilet, is a problem. When you see a
Hmm.
man that is always emotionally strong, there's a trouble. It's a sign that the guy will soon die and kill himself. And it's unfortunate we have a lot of landlady that didn't build house. Unfortunate because the guy is dead because he was boxing and boxing and boxing and boxing and just boxing it. So, and it's actually a perspective in the world. It's a societal channel. We see men like that, and it's a problem. So, if you're going to advocate, the first thing we need to talk about is to make people know, especially the masculine, that it is okay to be weak. It's okay. It's okay to be broke. It's okay not to have money. It's okay not to have money. It's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay. It's okay to not be able to pay school fees. It's okay. It's okay. You are not El Shaddai. The only person that is not okay for is God. As far as you are human, it's okay.
that's just saying.
It's okay not to be able to afford the school fees and tell your wife, I can afford this now. It's okay.
That's just
It's okay to take a bike and not kill yourself. I want to ride a car by force. It's
Hmm.
okay. I think that's the first approach. That if there's something we must do is to correct this social stigma. We need to
Hmm.
correct that men, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
let me come in a little bit there. Sorry to cut you in.
Yeah.
Especially in marriage right now, I've had a little experience, maybe one in relationship and one in course of marriage. That I had to stand up against it. There's a time that my wife was celebrating, then she was my fiancée, celebrating birthday, and I could not afford. I was so dead broke. That day I was so down that I switched off my phone so that she would not even bother calling me. I could not wish her birthday since 12 o'clock midnight up until about 6 p.m. in the evening. She has to be known that I'll come over to come and visit me that particular day. This is 2021 thereabout. Because I felt like it was so bad. How can I be a boyfriend and not have money to celebrate my
Hmm.
girlfriend? Like seriously, it looks like something suicidal, like something very bad, something like a terrorism kind of situation. As a boyfriend, you understand? So also in marriage, at the time whereby things were not so much okay financially, it was almost looking like that arrogance was coming from me, not even her. She's very understanding, but from me, that because is it because I was almost too thinking that every little thing was because maybe I did not put down the money for it. You get the idea? So I could almost say that, oh, maybe the reason why she did not this so well this morning was because I don't give her money yesterday. Why? Because of that inferiority complex. The fact that you
True.
don't have that self confidence in you, that what makes you a man is not money. What makes you a man is not the things, it's your capacity. What God placed in you is the authority, not is not the things that surrounds you. It's not the finances. It's not the thing that makes you the head of the house, the head of the house, or the head of the home, rather. But it is your inner built capability that God has created in you that you're the head of this family. So we need to begin to correct that mentality, honestly, or else we have a lot of people who are going through depression. Every man that cannot give his wife food, I mean money for food, could almost be frustrated throughout the whole day. Am I saying that you should not do that? You know, a man should not be in that box of not being able to provide. But there are seasons in life that you will almost come at that point. When you come at that point, don't push yourself to the wall. Don't push your. There
Yeah.
are some people that they won't have understanding why, but because they feel like they can't. Let me give an example. There's this person that it was so well doing before. I mean, someone very dear to me, very very well doing before, but at the time everything just went in wire. No longer finances. He had issues. He had an accident and everything. Now the wife was the one providing for the family because of his level of arrogance and pride, seeing that this person, his wife, is not the one providing for the family. Do you know this person has to leave the home he built for himself, and start sleeping in a school in which he built? Why? Because he feels that why will my wife be providing for the family? You understand? Why will it be that my children are going to school and I can't provide for them? But we need to understand and let them understand that it is okay, like he said, teach it in church, teach it in school, teach it in communities, have events around male child, male youths, male adults, the aged ones, have events around for them. I mean, some I had to grow. I was almost growing out of envy for the feminine category because I was not, I've not so much appreciated what God built in me as a man. You understand? I was feeling so much inferior that why is it that women are the one that are celebrated? I'm serious. But I have to start understanding that Victor, you need to understand the quality that's embedded in you, and you must appreciate yourself for it. So it's very very important. You need to teach this in schools, secondary schools. I miss the youths, I miss the graduates, I miss the adult ones, the aged ones. Let them understand that it is very, very okay to be down sometimes and you can move on with your life. Sorry, just feel I needed to emphasize that particular point before you move on.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Pastor Victor. I think it's important that, so just as I said, we need to hammer that a little. And if you're a man and you're listening to me where you are, I want to tell you, whatever you're going through at the moment, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Just know that it's okay to be like that. It's okay.
It's a big
Don't
shower,
let anybody
big
put
shower.
you pressure
Big-
and tell you have to pay 500K for you to get. Come on, you to zip up your trouser. What are you looking for?
Hey,
Right. So I
okay.
feel the other thing we need to do now, we also need to do is that we need to create emotional support for men. You know, the 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 Roman Catholic Church, they had, of course, they still have it, a system that affords people to gush out whatever in their being without feeling ashamed. Mm. It's actually, I mean, the priest enters into the, what do you call that thing? That box, like that confession box. Then you go there, you confess. We need to have a little bit more of that. And listen to
Yes.
me. I also feel that, wife, help your husband. Please, I'm begging you, if a woman, you are listening to me, help your
Girlfriend, your
husband.
boyfriend.
Girlfriend, help your boyfriend. Be a listening
My
ear to
my
him.
my girlfriend gave me a lot of money in my struggling days. So for
Yeah,
years, she was wanting
I
me to
remember,
communicate.
I remember that my wife would send me
I'm
airtime
serious.
when we're dating. She sent me airtime to call her. She would recharge my line so I can use the airtime to call her. You know,
Wow.
isn't that
Wow.
romantic?
Wow. Wow. Very, well, honestly, because the real truth is that now I'm at the margin. I'm earning almost a lot of times 5 times 10 of what she's earning. But the gap is not showing. We are merging accounts together. Why? Because of the thing that has been done in the past. You understand? So
Mm.
it's not out of place that you are the one carrying the body at the time, but the time being till the person is able to stand on his foot. He can't stay there forever in his life. You
Yeah,
understand? So it's just there for the season. So help him out. So it's okay for girlfriend to sponsor their boyfriend. Thank you.
it's
I'm an
okay.
advocate of that.
I'm an advocate. And then let me say this.
Okay.
A guy, if you are single, you don't have somebody that can talk to,
Thank
you know.
you.
Yeah. If you are single, you have
We
nobody.
that we that we are single, so please help us.
Baba, let us talk to you. We are everybody see everybody. Forget you are single. You single here. Because I taka it away from you. I taka it away from you.
Oh my goodness.
Right? So I think that for those that are single, create a coping mechanism. Now, this is it. Men naturally, this is why I used to tell men, and I've said it one over again, that as you grow, you need to start creating coping mechanisms. Now, when you are tired, what do? You need to have
Mm.
things you do that help you to cope. For example, there are times I want to be alone. I'm in the house. My wife is at home. I don't want to talk to her. I want to watch a movie. I want to play games. I want to do something that's just something I want to cope. I have stress in my brain. I'm thinking about a million things. But the last thing I want to do is to converse with you. Coping mechanisms. Am I still live?
Yeah, sure.
Mm. Yes, yes, we can
Yes,
hear you.
coping mechanisms. So as a man, start creating coping mechanisms for yourself.
Mm.
For
Go on
yourself.
retreat.
Yeah. It might be that
Yes,
it might
Yeah.
just find hobby. Find hobby. Listen to me. It is not easy for a man that has an hobby to be depressed. Let me say this to you.
Mm.
Because if you have an hobby, something, depression comes when there is silence in your mind. That's when you think about those things.
Mm.
Imagine you are playing basketball. The last thing you are thinking about is that thing. Until you shall go back home before you start thinking about it. You have to be alone. But you are playing basketball, you are playing
Mm.
tennis, you are playing chess, you are doing something, you are watching football. And you do you know why when men are plenty at football viewing center? Because it's a coping mechanism.
Mm. Mm. True.
It's a coping mechanism. Many of them don't even know. But they might be depressed now, taking it out. But once they enter that football house, they have forgotten that there's no money.
your mind
It's
is
a coping
True.
engaged.
mechanism. So as a man,
Mm.
you need to start creating coping mechanism for yourself. And wife, girlfriends, know when your guy don't want to talk to you. Know when he wants his space. Know when he want to play football. When he want to play PS. When he want to do Mortal Kombat. I don't know if they still do it again. But when he want to do COD,
Mm.
those stuff. That's what I would say.
Mm. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can only imagine how the next edition is going to be. And as you guys were talking, I just, of course, at a particular point, you boxed me in between. You are just saying married, married, married. One day, I will still be in your category. We'll just, by the time you
Sorry,
say we're
bro.
married, I will say, "Hey, we are all together in this thing. Please don't come and brag here." Right. But I can only imagine what it's going to be like. I want to say thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And I want to create maybe kind of curiosity for our audience on what to expect in the next edition. All right. PT talked about, the genuine man. All right. We really want to understand in our next event, we'll be looking at what that genuine man is. He said genuine man are scarce. All right. How can you fall into that category of being a real man? All right. What are those things that would make you a quality man? I mean, there are certain things we have to, don't let me just go into it, right? So then the next thing also is also in the place of responsibility. Uh both of our speaker are saying it's okay. It's okay. But one of the things we know also is that a man is known by responsibility, because as much as men have a lot of issues that they are handling, but some men are also lazy. All right, some men are not taking up responsibility, and I mean, what we hope to do in the next edition is to strike a balance. All right, if you are in this category, it's okay to lessen your body, but if you are in this other category, brace up. So I don't want you to miss the next edition at all. All right, try as much as possible. You will see it on whether Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn, wherever. You will definitely see it on Get Social Media. Please do well to follow them on social media: Facebook, Pastor Tolase Facebook, Tolase Afolabi on Facebook, and Victor Idowu too also on Facebook. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight. I need to release you before your wives. Me now. Nobody is calling me. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody is going to say when I get home by 12 o'clock. Nobody. But before your wife will start swimming and say we will not allow our husband to come to your podcast again, I want to release you guys. But I want to say thank you again. However,
Thank
before you
thank
go,
you.
because I don't want somebody to come and sue me in my DM. There is a question that is on the comments box, um, on the comment side that during the registration, and I believe this is a very major question. And if you can just within 2 to 3 minutes, each of you, if you could just respond to that, so that this person can really find a solution. Maybe this person is still waiting behind that. Will this guy really mention my question? The person asked, he said, how to navigate moments of confusion and self-doubt. Two things. If you could just give us a brief, straight away answer, how can you navigate moments of confusion and self-doubt? Okay, Victor, let me go with you first.
Okay. Thank you very much for that wonderful question. It's really a deep question. Confusion and self-doubt. First is every problem needs to be identified. So ask yourself, what is even the origin of this confusion? Now, for you to start talking about it to people is almost like a waste of time because the cause, if it's not known, people can just be giving you. It's like saying, you just went to doctor and start telling doctor, I don't know, head is paining me. I don't know, I'm feeling stomach pain. They will start asking you some questions. What is the source of it? What did you do in your day? What happened? That's the same diagnosis you need to perform to yourself. You need to begin to diagnose what led to this self doubt. Was it the fact that I was listening to a lot of things that were coming against the integrity of my person? I tell you, if you watch the video of transgender, consequently for weeks, within a month or 2 months, a new wisdom will come to you that will begin to make you doubt that maybe this man thing is just a gender thing. I can decide to become whoever I want to be like.
I
I tell you,
identify as fat.
I'm telling you, really, somebody says something. If you, as you are now, if you are locked into a room and every time people come in, as Uncle John is a male man, gallant, proudly man, and for a whole year, everybody that's coming to you is telling you that you are a woman, you are a woman, you are a woman, you are a woman, you are a woman. 1 million people comes at you. I tell you, it will take a higher wisdom not to believe that is true. Why? Because of information. So you need to diagnose what have I listened to that led me to this point of self doubt. Number one, what situation happened, what event happened around me? Is it the fact that where I was coming from? By the time you are able to analyze all of these things, you cannot begin to say, what are the probable solutions? Like I used to tell people that if you want to go and approach a mentor or approach people for solutions, think of the problem first, think of the possible solutions, and think of how they can help you in solving that problem. Because every mentor, everybody you see out there don't have time to start solving other people's problems. People are consumed with their own problems. So if you can help them out in breaking the problems down, number one. Number two, in seeing to the possible solutions. Number two. Number three, seeing how they can come and help you. Now, there are some people in which I have, if I have any spiritual problem, I know who to go and meet. But I don't, if I don't know that I have spiritual problem, who will I know that will really help me in this? You know, people will say, Ogori people call me Ogori Bibe.
Mm.
So I need to understand what is the source of the problem. What are the possible solutions, at least to the highest brim of knowledge in which I have? Who are the people that can help me? If I can know the people that can help me, then I walk up to them. So these three things will help you identify the problem, understand the few solutions in which you can comprehend, and then be also be able to recognize those that can help you out of that particular situation. And I think those three things really help you in coming out of self-doubt or whatever thing in which you see yourself going through. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, sir.
Mm.
Thank you so much, sir. Pastor
Right,
Tolashe.
right, 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 right. Pastor Victor, thank you for saying that. I I think that looking at, because the truth is, at some point in our lives, we will go through self doubt, right?
Mm,
At some point in our lives.
mm,
I don't know, PJ, you've been there. I don't know if you have been there. I've been there.
yeah.
I've been in the state that I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I
Mm,
didn't know what to
mm,
do. As a matter of fact, we are still
mm,
going to come there, because the truth is,
Every
the
decision
fact that,
time is a point of confusion.
yeah, the fact that you are doubting and you are confused about certain things, and in this period of your life, is a proof that there is something inside of you that is
mm,
genuinely seeking for something bigger, something better.
yeah.
You are dissatisfied about the present, but you're looking forward to something better. I don't know if you've been there, have been there. I just ask myself, what I'm doing now, I don't know why I'm doing this things. Why am I not doing better?
Mm,
Why am I doing better? Is it that I don't know? And that is actually a navigation. Um, it's actually, I could call it a compass towards greater experience in life. It's a compass. So when you are there, just know that you are there
mm,
because there is a yearning for a greater possibility. There has to be something better. There has to be something bigger than what I'm going through now. There has to be something, more detailed than what I'm experiencing now. And I want to tell you, congratulations that you are there,
mm,
because it's a proof that you are going to a better level.
So I think
mm,
that's
Now,
perspective. That's
yes,
perspective. So you
perspective. So
seeing
you have
seeing
to find a
seeing it as
perspective.
in a new light. Hmm,
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
you have to
Wow.
find a perspective to it. If you are confused, I'm shaking you. If you can take it from there, because it's a proof. It's a proof that you are looking for answers.
mm,
Some people are not confused. They are not making progress, but they are not concerned.
That's
mm,
true, sir.
There are a lot of people, their life is static, but they do not even know it is static. The fact you know that something is wrong somewhere is a proof that you are progressive and upward thinking. And that is
mm,
what everybody that find a solution go through before they find an answer. There
mm,
is no answer without question. Every answer comes because somebody asks a question,
That's true, sir.
right? So you're asking a question of what next? Why am I like this? Why is this happening? Is a proof that there's an answer coming to you. There's an answer coming to you.
Very true.
That's what I
mm.
would say.
Thank you, sir.
I don't want to give
Thank you.
you one two step because Pastor John, I realized that life is not perfect
That's true, sir.
and it will never be perfect. I don't want to know the level you are spiritually. You can never have a perfect life. It's not possible.
Mm,
It's not possible because the things will happen that will hit you. Things you think you're prepared for will hit you. The things you're not
Sure.
prepared for will hit you. Things will hit you. Oh, God forbid, you could lose your job. I'm not saying you're gonna, but you could lose your job. They say, Pastor, why would I? You could lose your job. You can just wake up and they just see a cancer in your body. Those things happen. And the fact that they happen, that's what makes life very interesting.
mm,
Nobody dies because of sickness. Everybody dies because they choose to die. If they are treating a cancer patient today, they are going to tell the person, keep fighting, keep fighting, don't lose yet. People that died during treatment are folk that said, I'm tired of this pain, I want to go. And they just say, go. So if you are confused today, believe what I'm trying to tell you today. Confusion is a proof that there's light you're going to see, and you're going to find it. Just do
mm.
what Pastor Victor has told you to do. That's how you navigate through it. Get that.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Guys, I want us to do something. It's something I'm not sure I've ever done before on this live talk. I just want us to agree together in the spirit and let's just pray in the Holy Ghost. I just feel an heaviness in my spirit right now, and I want to struggle with it. That I don't pray in the Holy Ghost here, right? But but
Oh,
it's heavy. I'm already shaking. Like if I don't obey,
Abba Sultana.
so I just want us to just take some moment, maybe 2-3 minutes, and let's just
Sobronto
pray in the Holy
Tolaba.
Ghost.
Cabo
Manavandes,
Sokataba.
Sekradi
Zebrente
Shadadabaya,
Ko.
Dendes
Hasaba
Sevinananas,
Hakatabaya.
Mendehelas,
Zelete Ko
Tefiliadas,
Sokatabaya. Librante
Eyana
Sobrante.
Manako Peladish,
Zelemele Kos.
Taladadadadadadada,
Aparade. Veleti.
Mararabasuta
Veleti.
Bradigede
Veleti.
Shialadadadadada,
Zebrenti. Akapa.
Enana
Asaba
Kapayala
Bakadoko
Balabalada
Kapa.
Baladagadash,
Zebrente Kosi.
Ekapata
Bilavante. Shepetete.
Taradadadadadada, Shibrakos
Libaratesti.
Stevenandis,
Ekapi.
Ingla
Sepetete.
Haitos Stefinama
Mashalaba,
Susadis,
Akali,
Laboto
Enemo,
Cambo
Akadia,
Haitis
Safadi,
Sadas,
Sepetesi,
Laus Haus Haulenas,
Arahasalabarante,
Elenananes, the
Sabranti,
Fradi
Vilikuta,
Capadis,
Lamanata,
Inglo
Venta
Hongle
Kadi,
Hembringa
Zemelete
Hadis,
Koso,
Ila
Prendebelaka,
Crosta Hauetis,
Sabanana,
Hauetis,
Arabusala,
Hauetis,
Dabarate,
Sesetusa,
Koboko, Sabanda,
Ibahahos, the Finandi Calados,
Kabalaka,
Ius
Manta,
the
Brunto,
Fenadaidos,
Sevente,
Steladia
Ekati,
Sandi Brandi
Zebrati,
Cabambote,
Ambrente
Eus,
Kura,
Eus, Eus, Inanana Shila
Zabrante
Babataida,
Kiri, Zabrante
Ora
Kapora,
Bosso
Busala
Tobragadeshi
Bakapa,
Alabaya,
Zelete
Oma
Koso Brante Kiri,
Katataredeshia.
Zelete
Thank
Paradivia,
you,
Kataba,
everlasting Father,
Rabosala
for
Dagadaboro.
in Jesus' name we are prayed.
Amen. You're
Amen.
ready.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you again. Again, we'll do this again before this month runs to an end. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed my moments here. But just like I said, I'm really ending this because I don't want your wives to come and sue me. I don't. I'm answering up, and so that by the time I come and visit your house, you guys at home, I'll be able to
Yeah.
eat eba with pounded yam without looking hiding my face from your wives.
Yeah.
Right.
But
So thank
PJ,
you once again.
let me provoke us to what we just did. Yeah, because when we
Okay.
it's always for that there will be interpretations to them, and what you've done is not absurd. Because I saw that from Busi Tekwambayo recently, and I was so amused. This guy dissed me on the national program podcast. I don't know if you saw
Hmm.
the video. I mean, he was requested to pray for the person that came on board, and he did that. It was so heart touch, and that was like very touching. So I was like, wow, a national person, a distinguished fellow in the whole wide world, one of the best speakers in the whole world,
Sure.
putting this on the life.
Who is that,
So that
please? Who is that?
Vusi.
Oh,
Busi
VC, okay.
Tekwambayo. Exactly. So it's good we be very outspoken about our faith. But that's what I'm going.
Hmm.
Why was that essential? It's because there are a lot of people that things that we are battling with has transcend from physical thing to spiritual thing. Now
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
almost like mind demon possession, mind oppression. I mean,
Hmm.
there's some things that people are going through that are no longer spiritual, that are no longer physical. I mean,
Hmm.
Mr. Scholarship would bear me witness, one that we are facing right now. I mean, one of
Yeah.
our fellows. I mean, you could almost say that this is not natural. And there's one that could almost say to one of the person in the family, you could know that these things are not natural. So there's some things that are transcend beyond the physical things that were even mentioned about. We're talking about a lot of strategies. Why I believe that why that surge came was so that a lot of minds can be healed spiritually.
Hmm.
A lot of soul can be amended spiritually. Some people are just nagging up and down. They don't know the reason why they are nagging. There is a spiritual backings from that point of angle that needs to be resolved. And I feel thank you so much for bringing that into Wells. We can say, let me applaud that so that you'll be feeling guilty at the end of the day that you did
And
that. It's a wonderful.
yeah,
Thank you very
thank you
much.
so
Thank you.
much. Thank you so much. I
CJ,
really
thank you for
appreciate that.
hosting me. We are
Thank you so.
grateful.
Yeah,
Pastor
exactly.
Victor, thank you for your wisdom.
Thank you
Thank you for your
so
wisdom.
much. All
Thank
right.
you. Let's
Thank you
have.
so much once again. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Tolashe. Thank you so much. All right, guys. That's it from Victor and Tolashe. Thank you so much, guys. It has always been a wonderful time with you all. All right. So we do this again another time this month. So I want you to watch out. It's going to be special. It's going to be It's going to be special. I mean, just expect it. Make sure your guy is here. All right. Whether you're in a relationship, your friends, your everyone, just make sure, watch out for the next edition. I want to say thank you so much for everyone that waited till now. Thank you so much for everybody that's joined. And I pray God will keep helping you in the name of Jesus. All right. So until next time, my name is Olafisoye Ige. See ya.